Have you ever noticed there are some people who just seem completely unfazed by social media? It's like they don't need likes or shares to feel good about themselves. So what's their secret? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive right into the psychology of validation and figure out why some people seem to build their self-worth completely offline.
So let's just start with this question, which is actually pretty deep when you think about it. How much is a like really worth? I mean, we trade in likes and comments and shares every single day. But what is this digital currency actually valued at? Is it making us feel better about ourselves? Or is it creating this kind of psychological debt we can never quite seem to repay?
Okay, so at the heart of all this is a really core human need. It's called external validation. It's that warm, fuzzy feeling you get when someone compliments your work or they agree with your opinion. Now, social media didn't invent this need, not at all, but it has absolutely supercharged it, basically creating a 24/7 global marketplace for our approval.
All right, to get a better handle on this, let's explore two totally different profiles. First up is Profile A. We're calling this one Life on the Dopamine Treadmill. And yeah, a lot of us might find this one hits a little close to home. So let's meet the scroller. And listen, this isn't about judging anyone, it's just about recognizing a pattern that's become super common. For the scroller, their emotional state can really rise and fall with their online reception. A post that goes viral, it can make their entire day. But a post that gets ignored, well, that can feel like a genuine personal rejection. And here's the science behind that feeling. It's this powerful feedback loop. You post something, you wait for a reaction, and then, boom, a notification pops up. That delivers a tiny hit of dopamine, which is a pleasure chemical in your brain. And because it feels good, your brain immediately learns to crave another hit, pushing you to post again. It's this powerful psychological treadmill that is just so hard to step off of.
But what's the alternative? Let's switch gears and move on to our second profile. This one is all about building a totally different foundation for self-worth. It's about building an inner compass.
Okay, now meet the builder. This person, they spend way less time looking for approval online and a lot more time constructing their sense of self from internal sources. Their validation doesn't depend on a digital audience. It's actually generated by their own actions and their own values.
So where does this internal validation even come from? Well, as you can see, it's from things like mastering a new skill, or deepening a real-life relationship, or hitting a personal goal you set for yourself. These things don't give you instant notifications, but they build this slow, steady, and much more resilient sense of self. Okay, so we've got two very different people here, the scroller and the builder. But what is the root psychological reason for this difference? What is the why behind their behavior? This is where it gets really, really interesting.
The answer, it turns out, lies in this fascinating psychological concept called locus of control. Now, it might sound a little academic, but the idea is actually super simple. Do you believe that you are the one driving your life, or do you feel more like a passenger, kind of subject to what other people or outside forces decide?
And this slide right here lays out the connection perfectly. Someone with an external locus of control feels like life happens to them. Their success, their happiness, it all depends on outside factors, like getting likes, which naturally creates a high need for validation. But someone with an internal locus of control believes they make things happen. Their success comes from their own efforts, and that leads to a much lower need for praise from others. The scroller leans external. The builder is all internal.
So, after all that, what is the big takeaway here? Look, it's not about saying one profile is good and the other is bad. Not at all. It's simply about awareness. It's about taking a moment to ask yourself, what is your source? And I mean, really, take a second to think about it. The last time you felt truly good about yourself, what caused it? Was it a notification that popped up on a screen? Or was it that quiet feeling of pride from accomplishing something that was deeply meaningful to you? There's no right or wrong answer here, but just knowing your source is incredibly empowering.
And maybe that's the ultimate lesson in all of this. It's wonderful to be liked and appreciated by other people. Of course it is. But perhaps the most fulfilling way to live is to see all that external validation as just a bonus, not the actual goal. The real prize is building your own self-worth, knowing your value long after the screen goes dark. What do you think?